From Storm Tracker 6, this is Forecast First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Well, we're seeing those temperatures still very mild this evening. We're looking at 87 degrees in Mason, 88 in Lansing, 85 degrees down in Jackson, and 84 degrees down into Hillsdale. Our dew points are into the 60s, so we're still feeling very humid and very summer-like as we head into this evening. And we're still seeing very quiet conditions on our satellite radar. We're going to continue to see the chance for those showers and thunderstorms later tonight and even into the day tomorrow. We just have a few chances for them as we head into tonight and early tomorrow morning, and our temperatures remain mild as well. I'll have the full details coming up in just a little bit. 6 News at 5:30 starts right now.
WLNS is here for you, celebrating 75 years of bringing you the news with 6 News at 5:30.
Right now at 5:30, mixed reaction after a police officer punched a man while on a potential crime scene. Plus, devastating and deadly flooding in parts of West Virginia. And a warning to people near this erupting volcano of potential lava flow. Those stories and a lot more in all in the first 6 minutes. Thank you for joining us this evening. I'm Siobhan Klepfer. Let's start that clock. And we begin tonight in Grand Rapids, where police are defending their actions during a recent encounter with a man with guns, but witnesses say officers acted improperly. A video posted on social media shows a Grand Rapids police officer apparently punching a man on Friday. Police say the man was one of a group of people who would not move back from a scene where officers were dealing with the person holding guns. They say this was a lawful use of force. Officers arrested one man, then a fight broke out between another man and an officer who eventually used a taser on him.
We were not standing behind those gentlemen until the second police officer arrived, and he established a poor perimeter. He established a poor line of sight. He got out of his car and pointed his gun at us.
Well, police say they were in the neighborhood after getting calls about a man with guns. They say he was legally carrying them. A former Macomb County Sheriff's deputy will spend the next 45 days in jail for slapping a 14-year-old. Derek Reed pleaded no contest to assault and battery in April, accused of hitting the teenager who he was transporting to a juvenile justice facility. He was also sentenced to 18 months on probation and is expected to report to jail on Friday. No contest means you don't admit guilt but accept the punishment. In Detroit, a woman is now being charged with trying to murder a tow truck driver who was repossessing her car last week. 38-year-old Shaquanda Tankersley faces 2 felonies, assault with intent to murder and felony firearm. Police say there were officers on patrol. They happened to be in that neighborhood nearby when she was shooting the tow truck driver. The officers fired back, hitting her in the torso. She was treated at a hospital and then released. Tankersley is expected to be in court again next week. Staying in the Motor City, a former claims examiner for the Michigan Unemployment Insurance Agency will spend more than 3 years in federal prison for approving fraudulent unemployment claims during the COVID-19 pandemic. Danielle Moore told prosecutors she took bribes to look the other way on 40 fraudulent claims amounting to more than $1.5 million. She's also required to pay that money back. Lifeguards could be coming to beaches in South Haven. The City Council approved a $45,000 contract with a firm to help develop a lifeguard program. During the first phase of the study, consultants will look at how the city can implement the program effectively and sustainably. And in a separate vote last night, the council approved a donation of 11 Life Ring cabinets to be installed at more than a handful of beaches. We'll take a look at this. Floodwaters destroyed an apartment building in West Virginia. Video from a witness on Sunday shows water pouring from the top and windows of that building. West Virginia officials say 6 people were killed in the stormy weather and 2 are still missing. The founder of MyPillow, Mike Lindell, has to pay more than $2 million in damages after making defamatory statements to a former Dominion Voting Services employee following the 2020 presidential election. Eric Coomer was the Security and Product Strategy Director for Dominion. Well, even though Lindell is now $10 million in debt, he says he will continue to speak out about election security. And Dominion won a $787 million settlement in a defamation lawsuit that it filed against Fox News over its airing of false claims against the company. Speaking of politics, President Donald Trump says he will not call Minnesota Governor Tim Walz after the targeted shootings of 2 state lawmakers, stating the governor is slick and whacked out and that calling him would waste time. President Trump spoke to reporters earlier today as he flew back to Washington after leaving the G7 summit early because of rising tension between Israel and Iran. Presidents often reach out to elected officials during times of tragedy to offer condolences and federal assistance if needed.
Do you have a judicial warrant? Do you have a judicial warrant? Can I see the judicial?
Well, this was the moment a New York City comptroller and Democratic mayoral candidate was taken by masked men claiming to be ICE agents today. It happened at a federal courthouse where Brad Lander was observing an immigration hearing. The Department of Homeland Security says Lander was arrested for assaulting law enforcement and impeding a federal officer, although that cannot be seen in the video. Meantime, this video shows the congested traffic on an Iranian road just outside of Tehran last night. People are leaving the city just a few days after Israel launched a surprise attack on Friday, killing most of Iran's top military commanders and leading nuclear scientists. President Trump posted on social media on Monday that, quote, everyone should immediately evacuate Tehran, end quote. Israel now says they have control of Iranian airspace and intends to escalate the campaign in the coming days. A volcano on a southern Indonesia island has erupted again. Check this out. Today, experts, they say it created an ash cloud nearly 7 miles high. As a result, the alert level of the volcano has been increased to most dangerous, and residents are being warned about potential lava flow if it rains heavily. The volcano's last eruption was back in May. Kraft Heinz will be removing artificial dyes from its U.S. products starting in 2027. The company says almost 90% of its U.S. products do not contain artificial dyes, but the products that still use them will be removed by the end of 2027. Kraft Heinz says many of its U.S. products that still use artificial colors are in its beverage and dessert categories, and that natural colors will be used instead. And we end the first 6 minutes of news by putting down the pint and picking up a pour-over. Yes, welcome to Sober Clubbing. Here, baristas brew coffee while DJs spin. Now, this hopping daytime club session is in Singapore and is part of a growing trend in alcohol-free events. Gen Zers are increasingly looking for sober social spaces for the health benefits and the no-pressure vibes.
I guess it's also the idea that it's like a safer space, you know. I think the people who are here are really here to enjoy the music.
More and more of my friends are sober or sober curious, and I think that, yeah, we don't need alcohol to have fun. We just have each other, and as long as we bring the vibes, we'll be okay.
Now, these budget-friendly dance sessions wrap up by late afternoon, and sober partygoers say the best part is no hangover. I think I would go anywhere if there was a hoppin' DJ spinning some tunes, Kelsey.
Especially if it's like a coffee bar. Like like that just sounds so nice.
Yeah, it's kind of fun.
Just enjoying like a cup of coffee or a donut and dancing. Like honestly,
yeah,
all the good things.
I'm thinking maybe put down the hot beverages and pick up something cool because the weather here in mid-Michigan is hot.
We're gonna probably want the ice cream, the iced coffee, and the air conditioner over the next couple of days as we're going to see the temperatures warm up, especially into the weekend.